Couple more thoughts, folks, on the. I didn't think I'd be doing this today. On the concert over the weekend from Black Sabbath, the big farewell, Ozzy's last stand, if you like. I did a video on it that's been watched by a few people. Had a bit of a pop at Ozzy's voice, saying it's not as strong as it was. He was struggling a little bit. The power and the depth had gone. I think the stamina's gone. I do realise he's getting on a bit. I've definitely realised the health issues he's had. And I also know when you sat down, you can't work your diaphragm and all that. You can't work the same as you do stood up, so you're going to lose a bit there anyway. It didn't sound awful. I've never said that. I never said he sounded awful. Just that the power had gone. I noticed on many lines he'd sing a line and then get the crowd do a line, sing a line, so he's having a rest all the time. That said, he did more songs than I expected. I think he did 9 overall. I heard he was just doing 4 with Sabbath. Didn't know he was doing 5 of his own songs as well with a put-together band. So he did more than I expected. I've heard some reviews on the concert over the last couple of days, and I've heard a few songs because I didn't go. And I just like to mention a couple of things. Firstly, many people have messaged me to defend Ozzy. That's no problem. As I say, I like Ozzy. I'm not going to call Ozzy Osbourne. I like him. You can't dislike Ozzy. Don't like Sharon. I don't like her at all. But Ozzy, I like a lot. He's different. He's just Ozzy. I don't think there's many people that dislike Ozzy. But he was okay. I mean, he was better than expected. I never thought he'd make the concert. I never ever did. I said months since. I'd be surprised if he got there. He got there and sung 9 songs, so hats off to him. But what I will say is, I've heard a couple of bits and pieces since, and I've heard some things by other bands. I've thought, that's bad. I mean, some of the things I've heard makes me realise how good Ozzy is and was. I mean, I heard something today, and I nearly died. I don't know if you heard it yourselves. I heard Guns N' Roses doing Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Oh, I'd say don't bloody don't. Never mind Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Absolutely horrendous. All I've heard from Axl over the last 4 or 5 years is him butchering other people's songs, and sometimes some of his own. Absolutely terrible. He's another person like your Dave Lee Roth of the world that should just give up. Absolutely terrible. I mentioned on a video I did, I think on Friday or Saturday last week, that I'd just heard Judas Priest do a tribute to Black Sabbath with War Pigs. I think it was War Pigs, because they couldn't make the concert on Saturday. They had a prior gig at a festival in Europe. They did War Pigs. It was sensational. For my money, better than Ozzy did it. I've heard somebody else do War Pigs over the weekend. I can't think who it was. It was another well-known act. Crap compared to Priest. Did I write it down who it was? I might have done. I might not have done. Yeah, somebody told me as well Guns N' Roses did Never Say Die. They said that was absolutely awful as well. No, I think that was it. I think it was just to mention Priest here compared to Guns N' Roses. As I say, Guns N' Roses were shocking, absolutely shocking. But Priest were absolutely brilliant, really, really good. Pity they couldn't be there. I suppose they had their ex-guitarist old KK there, but I think Alfred and the boys would love to have been there on Saturday. They'd have been no doubt missed. But no, I'm not knocking Ozzy Osbourne. Love him, think he's great, always have done. He's a superstar. At his age, he did well to even turn up and to sing to the best of his abilities. He did well. But I'm not having people telling me he was brilliant on Saturday and sounded fantastic, because I've heard many songs. He certainly didn't sound fantastic. He certainly didn't. But I do wish, some of these bands that were doing his songs did them to some kind of justice, or just didn't do them at all. The other thing as well, I think somebody mentioned, they're surprised that Sabbath didn't start with Black Sabbath itself. Black Sabbath doing Black Sabbath. Being as how it was the song in many ways about the band, and that broke them. And I got that, really. After reading that, I thought, I'll have a listen to that again today, and it's haunting and it's brilliant. But then again, I'm thinking, there's a lot of it with just the singer and backing music. Was it too much for him? Did he not want to be out on his own singing it? Or did he want songs with more music base, or the music is helping him there? Mind you, I thought with less music he would have to sing less hard, and he wouldn't have had to have tried as hard. I think they probably should have done Black Sabbath, really. Is that the seminal song? It probably is, isn't it? They're going to do Paranoid, but I bet many of the old Sabbath fans, if you give them the choice, Black Sabbath or Paranoid, I bet most of them would pick Black Sabbath. I might be wrong. I know fans in general would pick Paranoid, but Black Sabbath fans, I think they go for Black Sabbath before Paranoid. I might be wrong. Let me know underneath if you've got this far, that is.